Today we're gonna be giving some anti-air drills out. We're gonna be teaching y'all how to get better at anti-air in this video. I think all these drills start off pretty easy, but there's ways you can add on to make them. That's why I think these drills are good in my opinion. These are some drills that I personally do and have put together that have gotten me better at anti-airing. I haven't played in a while, so if I miss some, leave me alone, right? But these are good drills for anybody. And like I said, you can add shit on to make them more difficult. Like fundamentally, these are good to kind of get you started in the right path to knowing how to anti-air. And I think the misconception with anti-airing is there's two main ones. One, people think you have to do it the second you see it. The amount of time you have to anti-air is less, but more than you think. You can hit somebody really low on the ground for an anti-air. You don't have to hit somebody the second they hit the air, because if you do, it does less damage. And especially if they're attacking, if they're not empty jumping, which I don't know why they would if they're jumping at you to hurt box, like they have to recover from said move they're doing. So it gives you more of a window to hit them and get a punish counter hit. And another misconception people I feel like have, and not necessarily a misconception, but a mistake people make is they practice certain drills like with, or they'll just turn the doll. I say the doll. Wow. They'll turn them on just to jump or do a telegraphed ass jumping. The problem with that is if you're looking for anything in this game, you should get it. If not, it's an execution problem, and then that's you need to work on that probably. But like that's whiff punishing anything you could think of. If all you're looking for is a whiff punish, you should get the whiff punish. If all you're looking for is an anti-air, you should get the anti-air. If you can't do that, like if you're not past that point yet, you probably should practice execution first. So first thing you want to do, and I'll do it all. Let me actually delete all these so I can kind of show you, right? You want to set your recording trigger to on input, and then you want to go to slot 1 or an empty slot, whatever, right? And you want to record. Mind you, I'm picking Luke because he has an obnoxious jump in, right? Because like he has this bullshit right here. That, right? You can really pick any character, but even if you don't want to pick Luke, pick a Shoto. Record slot 1, walk back and forward, right? That's slot 1, right? Slot 2, so I'm recording it from out here, but realistically, you're probably not going to be this far out when you're actually doing a drill. You shouldn't be. So you want to record Luke, and you want to have him. All right, now their recording slot is going to simply be a crouching medium, right? Crouching mediums are 29 frames, so you want to stop it at 29 or 28. You don't have to stop it at exactly those, but it's just nice. The closer, the better, right? Boom. And I know I did that shit perfect because I'm built different. But yeah, stop it at around 29, 30-ish frames, because if you don't, it'll mess up the recordings. Like sometimes the recordings might mess up and collide with each other. So make sure you stop it as close to 29 as possible. And now the last one you can do, right? Neutral, drive rush shaft. All right, perfect. Now, at a base level, the better you get, like I said, the more you add, right? Put these two on, right? At the start. All you're focused on is just anti-airing to jump in. Damn. All right, let me actually look at the screen, but I'm gonna show you. Boom, just like that. All right. And when you're getting nicer, you come closer, right? Practice in this range. So when you get in this range, right? Just like that. So if he happens, like you're clicking buttons in this range, right? Boom, boom, right? Just like that. Boom. Practice cross ups as well. You can kind of do both at the same time, right? But that's just focus on one thing. You're only focused really, realistically, you're never gonna just sit here and focus on anti-airing, at least at that range, especially if you like point blank. So that's when you start to add more shit on, right? That's when you start to add the crouching medium. Now you're gonna divert your attention from not only just anti-airing, this is where it gets harder, but you're gonna divert it to whiff punch. Oh, also too, make sure to set this, my bad. It matters. It kind of matters less when you're only doing two slot 1 and 2, but make sure to set this to 2 or 3, because you don't want like the walking. This is a walking animation. Make sure to set it to 2 or 3, because it depending on how much they do, because you don't want them to sit here and just keep walking or doing the same 2 options. You want him to walk for a majority and then jump or do something, but you don't want to set it too high. 3 might be too much, because then he just sits there and walks for hours before he does anything, and then you forget what the drill is even about, right? So set this to minimum 2. So the goal is to get a whiff punish when he whiffs, get an anti-air when he jumps. Hey, just like that, right? And you want to practice that. Now, if you notice they're doing one option too many times, don't count that shit, motherfucker. Be fair with the rep. Now, once you get super duper ultra mega nice and you get past that point, you want to click here and you want to add the dry rush in. Now, like I said, you can only, if some people are nice, there's okay, I understand some people are built different. I know some. This one dude doesn't miss an anti-air regardless of where the shit's at, right? But there's some people that aren't like that. So I say you can only really have 2 things in your head at a time, 2 effective things. Anything beyond that becomes mush, right? You kind of just here nor there. So now you want to practice on 2 options. And this is actually probably a good neutral drill, period. But for this purpose, for the sake of anti-airing, always focus on anti-airing, but focus on whatever other thing. So let's say you have all 3 on, you're focused on checking the drive rush now, right? That's fine too. focused on anti-airing and checking the dry rush. Pick two things. Really keep anti-airing and rotate between the two. All right, this run I want to work on getting the whiff punish. This run I want to work on getting what's it called? Checking the dry rush or the anti-air. You know, you get what I'm saying? So you want to swap between the two. Let's say I'm focused on whiff punish and anti-iron and he dry rushes. Don't try to check that shit. I mean, you can if you want to really challenge yourself. I don't see a point because what we're getting you used to is prioritizing the mental stack, right? And as you get better at that, you can probably be able to focus on multiple things at once. I could kind of do three, but I barely this shit is not working. That's why really two things that they're primarily doing. And that's why in some cases, once you check somebody from anti-iron, they're gonna stop. So then you can stop focusing on anti-iron because I will say there is no point in focusing on anti-iron if the motherfucker hasn't jumped in like 5 rounds. So anywho, now we're gonna shift our focus to dry rush, right? We're gonna check the dry rush or anti-air. Okay, cool. We're okay with that. But see, we're okay with him whiffing because we're not looking for that, right? We're not looking to whiff punish. Now we're looking to whiff punish or anti-air, right? Damn. Okay, see? Next one, we're gonna set block reversal. Well, firstly, we're gonna set our character to block already there. Okay, we're already there. We're gonna turn on forward jump, vertical jump, and light punch. And the reason the light punch for is so that if you don't time your grab right off of the dry rush normal, you should get hit. If you don't time the grab right, you get hit, basically. So now it's conditioning you to time your damn throws right on Oki, but also be worried about the anti-air, right? And I'm gonna give you, once we start the drill, I'm gonna give you a tip on how to really approach this situation if you're this drill in this situation, right? So what you're gonna do is start the drill in neutral, dry rush, hit, boom, right? And you see he's either gonna vertical jump, forward jump, or right, boom. I didn't time my throw right. You see what happens? Boom. If you time your throw right, that should happen. You should get a counter hit. There you go. Another one you could do very similar, same thing. Right, when you do the reversal, go to wake up reversal, turn it on. So if you're a character without a throw loop, or you need a dry reverse to throw loop, same concept. If you mistime your throw, yeah, just like that. And he either is gonna vertical, horizontal, whatever the case may be, right? But that's just on wake up. But like a tip to help you get through this drill very easily, right? I'm gonna put y'all on game. So when you throw somebody in this game, think about it like this, right? So as soon as you hit that grab button, you buffer your DP or figure out which one to do, because gotta think they're either gonna tech the throw, which means they're gonna counter and you're just gonna get reset to neutral. They're either gonna DP, which okay, boohoo, now you're on defense. That's a whole different ball game, right? Unless they're in burnout, then even then that's still iffy, right? Or they're gonna simply jump it. So as soon as you hit that grab button, you see which option they do. If they tech, cool. If they grab, because I feel like the thing people do is they don't know, like they stress they stress the mental stack too much of certain shit that's not even a threat. Like you don't gotta, or that's not even, that shouldn't be in the forefront of their mind. Like why am I about to worry about, at least after the point where it's already happening, why am I about to worry about, like people over stress when they don't need to yet. Like why am I about to stress him anti-iron jumping and do all this other shit in neutral before I actually have a chance to try to grab him, right? So you only think about it when you grab him. All right, the last drill, which is not even a drill, and I think everybody does this, super simple drill. Block reversal, right? Turn it on, or not vertical, forward jump only, right? This is just gonna get you better with cross cutting. The other drills should kind of naturally help too, but this is gonna get you better with cross cutting, but not preemptively though. So if you do this, the drill does not count, because at that point you know they're gonna jump. In a match, you're not gonna know the nigga is jumping, right? So what you want to do is, right now I'm gonna just show y'all something real quick. So at least on the pad at least, right? And on really on any controller, but I'm playing on pad, so that's why it's different. On other controllers, there's like shortcuts, hit by stick, cool. It might be similar, the same, I don't know, can't speak on that, but I can speak on pad users, right? And just in general, this is hard to do, right? Like under pressure, right? You only really need these two buttons to DP, right? You don't really need to go all the way, or you don't really need to go all the way up like that, right? All you need is those two. So the goal of this drill, right? You want to sit here, do that, right? Without moving, or if you do move, micro step, like very barely, because you might miss input. Like the only reason you should move is because when you do this, you hit forward for a split second and then that happens, right? But you saw how you micro step, like in damn near did the sure you can at the same time. That's what you want to do. If you're just hitting, walking under and doing that, that's not correct. And you want to do that however many times. By the way, there's no specific repetition or amounts you have to do. You can do these drills as many times as you want, because I think at the end of the day, you know, if you cheating yourself and you doing good. I'm not gonna sit here and say do it 10 times, motherfucker, do it 50. He might need to do it 1, 2, 3 times. You might need to do it 100. Just do it as many times till you get tired or till it feels comfortable. And then you add more difficulty. You make it harder. You start saying, hey, if I miss one, I got to do the whole thing over from this. You can add difficulty because at this point, you're drilling precision and consistency, right? Just jab, practice that. Jab, practice that. Practice that. All right. You can use, like I said, the goal is to only use this bottom piece to DP. If you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong, right? You can use this a little bit, but it should be like I showed you earlier, a little teeny tiny ass step, right? And then that's done. But yeah, that's it though. I think those are all the drills I'm providing. It's like I said, they're not nothing too crazy. It's pretty simple. And honestly, I think you have these drills, you're gonna be in a pretty good spot if you can do all of these consistently. But even in drill is different from the game because you also want to practice under pressure. And what I recommend for that is don't go to casual because casual be on some bullshit. Go to the battle hub, but don't play a fucking milk dud, because if you're gonna play a milk dud, just hit the dummy, because milk dud, like, no, I ain't saying nobody ass, but people that don't play the game. So play somebody that's better or at your level. I'll also put these on paper. I shouldn't have to put these on paper or on a notepad, but I'll probably put them on a notepad and link them down somewhere so that y'all can hit them and then have access to them. So if y'all need to set them up on the fly, you can just read them. You don't gotta watch the video. Let's say you don't got no data, but you got your computer on you in the file right there, right? I promise I won't give y'all a virus, okay? Promise. But yeah, y'all let me know how these drills go, and if it improves your anti-air, you know, you can catch me on the twitch.tv. And yeah, we're out of here. Happy learning. Hopefully this helps y'all.